Hey everyone, welcome to the Design Systems Slippers sprint release video for sprint release 5. Our code name for this one is Hindsight is the best insight to foresight. Love it. So the goal of this sprint was primarily to iterate and explore some more storybook tailwind, some of the infrastructure for slippers now that we have decisions there, and secondarily just getting back into the groove after the holidays, finding our sea legs, as it were, just getting back into the swing of things. And so we got a few things that we can talk about that we'll be releasing at the end of this sprint. And so I think we were successful in both these iterations, explorations, and getting back into the swing of things. So, Javi, do you want to kick us off with the Slippers repo?
Yeah, sure thing. I'm going to share my screen just because I feel like that's like the easiest way to showcase this, but we do have a repo for this stuff now. It's not living as a personal project for me anymore, which is awesome. And yeah, this thing is existing. We have had some work on it to make sure that it's compatible with Vue. And there's still like some kinks that we need to work out, but yeah, this is here. This is live, and there's an instance of it that's up. I don't know if it's showing anything. Oh, it's the changed button from some of the changes that we've been working on. But yeah, that's exciting. It's definitely a step forward. So yeah, shout out to I'm trying to look up your name really quickly, Jeremy Elder, for the logo. It was really nice, and it fits very nicely with like the product one that exists for pajamas. So thank you. And
Yeah,
yeah.
I was going to ask about that. I noticed as I was working, I was like, I like it a lot. It's yeah, it's a nice little slipper icon. So yeah, jumping off of that, very related, something that I planned to do and have completed up here is we have review apps working now in the repository in an early iteration of it. So much like people might be familiar with what we see on like the about gitlab.com and the handbook where you can go and see your changes in the staging environment. We've got this repository pushing up its artifacts and its changes to a specific URL that gets pointed at when you run the pipeline on it. So at the end of your pipeline, when it's done running, you get a link. You can go see the changes. There's a couple of gotchas on it, and I think there's some iteration there, but for the moment it's working and it's working predictably. And so that'll be really good for us to be able to, especially as we look at this as, like a visual language, and we can like really review the things that we have to see in this very nice storybook environment. I'm leading this meeting. And then Jess, you want to go with the next items here?
Yeah, no worries. So I'm just going to speak to the design updates today because some of the content within the designs itself are not public yet. So hopefully we'll be able to show you guys that soon, as soon as it goes live. The biggest project I've been working on is the pricing page updates, kind of combining our current pricing page with our feature comparison chart. That's been a really fun thing to design. Also trying to do our first true user research with that by doing a card sorting exercise. So I'll shout out Sanmi and Javi, who's on the call right now, for helping out doing kind of a beta test of that. But hopefully we'll be able to get that with some of our actual real live users very soon. A couple other things that are going on. We've got our next promotional banner for the homepage coming up soon, as well as a new global notification. And again, the content I can't speak to, but the fun part about this is we've been able to introduce a few new design system elements. So things like tooltips, tables, these global notifications, and accordions are all brand new aspects of the design system that came out of all of these projects. So working with Stephen on getting UI into the design system. And like I said, trying to get the next steps of user research going, and just got access to usertesting.com. So gonna be jumping on that very shortly.
Cool, thank you. And then Brennan, want to bring us home on the last couple ones here?
Yes, let me try and remember where I have my screen sharing set to here. So the slippers, for our design system needed some documentation kind of as a basic starting point. So I threw together some of the thoughts we've been communicating in videos and issues and all that and put it in a handbook page that lives in our digital experience team and the inbound marketing team. And this is kind of going over the whys and why nots and goals and vision journey, and then it links to a few resources like the video we recently recorded about basically going over our architecture changes. And sorry for the clicking on a link that was a video that I probably shouldn't have clicked on, but also the repository that Javi mentioned earlier. And so yeah, few resources. It's a good starting point. And then the other thing is unrelated, but the performance improvements that can be got on the www repo for about.gitlab. I investigated, could we upgrade to Ruby 3? It was released over the kind of December holiday break. And so I investigated, could we upgrade? Would there be performance improvements? Short answer, yes for us in the marketing side of things. However, I put it to some of my colleagues, some on the video call here, and Chad, Wooly, and some of the others, just to kind of see what they thought about it. And we agreed that the product team was also investigating this. So it'd be good to kind of align with their side of things. While it worked well for us, we don't want to force everyone to update their machine's Ruby version to 3 if it's going to break other stuff they're working on. So there's no urgency other than it'd be great to have that performance improvement. So it's kind of on the back burner until we're ready, but it's good to know that we didn't need to do too much to get it going.
Excellent. Yeah, that's super exciting. I've been looking forward to Ruby 3 for a long time, so I can't wait to do some migration and get to play around with it in production. Cool. So just a couple final notes here about moving closer to our Q4 OKRs. And for us in Q4, it was to invest in planning, designing, building the design system for the marketing site. All this sort of stuff, really just shoring up the repository and getting our ducks in a row is, moving us closer on that and getting us to something that we can continue to iterate on really efficiently. So I think, this was all that sort of necessary groundwork, laying the groundwork for it. So does anyone else have anything on value and OKR?
Yeah, I think from a design point as well, like we're moving from having nothing to having a basis to work off of, and that kind of gives us a chance to improvise. So like I said, in this last iteration, we're able to come up with like a couple brand new things using the basis we already had, and it was 10 times easier than it was even just a month ago to design, because now we have like something to look at and to like strive for. So that was really exciting to kind of get to that point already.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for just the mental and like psychological shift of like, hey, there's a link and like you can go look at the stuff,
Yeah,
and that just
exactly.
it really helps. I don't know, it's very grounding in many ways. Cool. And then talking about release, when it's going to be live, most of these items are like already live. The repo exists. The review app is working. It looks like the handbook page is published, right, Brandon? Cool.
Yeah,
And then
handbook
just
is ready.
excellent. And just as there are a couple things there. Do you have
I think
things?
I think both of the announcements are next week or pretty soon, and then pricing I think it might be a week after that, give or take.
Cool. Awesome. And no other demos or anything here. So I think that about does it for the recap. It was a great way to get back in the swing of things. It's been fun.